Hey, what are you, 16, 17?
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just wanna go.
A young couple heads out into the woods searching for a quiet place to camp. But out of all the places they could have chosen, they pick the worst possible one. Thinking they're completely alone, they start getting comfortable, but that feeling doesn't last long. Because they're not alone, they're being watched. The boyfriend notices something off and calls out, asking if anyone's there. Assuming it's just a couple of hunters, he walks over to confront them for intruding on their space. Big mistake, these aren't normal hunters. They hunt people. Within seconds, the boyfriend is killed, and the girl is taken. Cut to later. We're introduced to Danny Beckett, a recently retired Army Special Forces soldier who meets up with his estranged wife Janine at their daughter's soccer game.
Nice pass, Alex!
Their daughter Alex has college visits coming up, but Janine won't be able to go due to last-minute changes at the hospital. Both parents have a strained relationship with her, but Danny sees this as his chance. A chance to finally reconnect and make up for all the time he's missed. The next day, Danny picks Alex up from home, and it's immediately clear she's not happy about any of this. He tries to lighten the mood, making small comments, but she barely engages. Janine, on the other hand, believes that eventually Alex will come around and appreciate the time with him. Danny is genuinely excited for the trip. Alex? Not at all. She puts her headphones in and completely shuts him out. Their first stop is Benson College. Trying to break the ice, Danny shows her cat videos, hoping to get even a small reaction. Instead, she hits him with sarcasm, acting like he just discovered the internet since they've barely ever talked. Danny takes it. He explains that being a soldier was his life, and apologizes for not being around. But then she asks him something simple. Would he do it all again? And he doesn't answer. That silence says everything. Danny is also carrying his firearm, which makes Alex uncomfortable. She tells him to put it away, not wanting people to judge her. So, to give this relationship even a chance. He locks it up. They begin touring the campus. Danny joins a group of parents during a presentation where he's asked basic questions about Alex, her hobbies, interests, what she enjoys, and he blanks. All he can say is that she likes soccer, nothing else. No real details, just that this school is her top choice. At one point, he even refers to it as a university, only to be corrected that it's actually a college. Not exactly helping his case, and definitely not a great look in front of Alex. After that awkward visit, they get back on the road. Danny tries again, this time asking about her classes, her interests, anything. But Alex isn't interested in talking. Instead, she just sends him her transcript. That's it. Later that night, they check into a motel. Janine calls to see how things are going and reminds Alex to reach out to the soccer coach at the next school since there's a scholarship opportunity. But here's the truth. Alex doesn't even like soccer that much. She has other things she actually wants to pursue. Danny finally notices something while looking through her transcript. Art classes. A lot of them. So he brings it up, guessing that she might be into art. For a moment, Alex is surprised. He actually noticed something real about her, but just as quickly, she shuts down again. No conversation, no opening up. They go their separate ways for the night, each staying in their own room. And then, the tone completely shifts. We're introduced to something much darker, a secluded family cult dealing with a serious problem. Their women are no longer able to give birth to healthy children. The next day, they visit Alton University. There are still 2 more schools left on the list, but Alex isn't feeling it anymore. She's already checked out. Instead, there's another place she actually wants to see, an art school. The problem? It's a 9-hour drive. She assumes Danny won't go for it, but surprisingly, he's completely on board. He's got nothing but time. There's just one condition. She doesn't want Janine to know yet. She wants to figure things out on her own first. Danny agrees. Where are we headed? And just like that, they hit the road again. As night approaches, they struggle to find any available rooms, so Danny suggests a backup plan. If needed, they can just camp out. He's got all the gear in the back. As they continue driving, their cell signal disappears. No service, no distractions. To Danny, that means one thing, a chance to talk. He asks why she's hiding things from her mom. Alex finally opens up a little. Janine doesn't believe art is a real future, so instead of arguing about it, she just avoids the conversation completely. Danny tells her she should be honest. But Alex flips it right back on him. She knows how much he loved the army, and doesn't believe his whole retirement story. Danny doesn't argue. His silence confirms it. Good talk. They eventually pull over at an old, rundown gas station that looks like it's been there forever. Alex heads inside to use the bathroom. The place immediately feels off. Inside the small shack, she notices strange masks and unsettling carvings lining the walls. Then she meets the owner, Abigail. She points Alex toward the bathroom, but there's something about her, something unsettling. Following the directions, Alex makes her way through, only to run into another man inside. He's just as creepy. He starts asking her personal questions, insisting on knowing her age. Alex ignores him and keeps moving. Meanwhile, Danny is at the counter grabbing some water. Abigail starts asking questions, where they're headed, what their plans are. When she hears they're looking for somewhere to stay, she offers a suggestion, a nearby campground. She even goes as far as drawing them a map. Seems helpful. Too helpful. Danny thanks her and the two leave, but not even a minute after they're gone. The man turns to Abigail and tells her to call Stanley. Following Abigail's directions, they continue driving, completely unaware that they pass a sign showing the campground has actually been closed for a long time. Eventually, they arrive at a massive lake, and the place feels familiar. After setting up camp, things finally start to feel normal again. Alex even opens up a little, showing Danny her sketchbook. And honestly, her drawings are impressive. Danny is genuinely blown away and encourages her to chase it seriously. For a moment, things feel good, but it doesn't last. The temperature drops and Danny heads off to gather firewood, and this is where everything falls apart. As they move through the woods, they start hearing strange noises. Danny brushes it off at first, probably just an animal, a raccoon or something. But then, they realize something's wrong, and they're being followed. It's a person! Danny calls out, trying to de-escalate the situation, but the men watching them don't respond normally. They act like they're hunting, like Danny and Alex aren't people, but prey. Danny tries to apologize, thinking maybe they interrupted something, but it clicks. Too late. They are the hunt. They sprint back toward the truck, only to see it driving off. Their weapon is gone. Alex gets grabbed, but Danny snaps into survival mode. Using his training, he takes the attackers down long enough for them to break free. They run into the woods, barely escaping an archer chasing them down. Danny and Alex duck beneath the roots of a massive tree trying to stay hidden, and that's when they see it. A decomposed body lying right there. This isn't random. This has happened before. Danny hears voices nearby, radio chatter. Two men move close, talking to someone named Stanley, reporting that they lost track of them. The response is clear. Find them, or don't come back. Alex is panicking, blaming herself. She admits she should have told him about the creepy man back at the gas station. On top of that, Danny is injured, but there's no time to dwell on it. He snaps her back into focus if they're going to survive. She needs to stay sharp. They keep moving and eventually stop at a river to refill on water. But Alex can't shake the guilt. She blames herself again, especially for making him lock the gun away. Danny shuts that down immediately. Gun or no gun, I'm getting us out of here. These guys messed with the wrong dad. They continue forward, following a set of train tracks, until they spot something in the distance. An RV, hidden deep in the woods. Alex thinks it could belong to the hunters, but then she notices something important. An antenna, which means one thing. A radio. A chance to call for help. They move in carefully, staying hidden in the trees as they approach the RV. Danny listens closely. No movement inside. No voices. So they step closer. Then suddenly, a dog starts barking, and everything goes wrong. Out of nowhere, the hunters attack. Danny reacts instantly, fighting them off in close combat. With Alex's help, they manage to take one of the men down. But then, a massive guy steps in. This one's different. A tank. He overpowers Danny at first, but Danny manages to break free and jump into the RV. He gets it moving, and slams it straight into the man, pinning him against a tree. It buys them just enough time. They run. But Alex trips and sprains her ankle. She's struggling to keep going, panicking, breaking down. But stopping isn't an option. They have to keep moving. Meanwhile, back at the RV, the hunters regroup around their fallen man. One of them suggests they should pull back and get help. Danny wasn't supposed to be this dangerous, but the others shut that idea down immediately. If they go back without the girl, Stanley won't forgive it, so there's only one option left. Keep hunting. After pushing forward for a while, Danny realizes they can't keep going like this. Alex's ankle is slowing them down. And if they don't deal with it, they're only making themselves easier targets. So they stop. They find a small cave near a river. Good visibility on both sides. A decent place to rest. Danny pulls out some MREs, giving them both something to eat. For a moment, things slow down, and Alex brings it up again. Why he really left the army. This time, Danny answers. It wasn't just retirement. It was a mission gone wrong. They were sent in to rescue families trying to escape an attack. At one point, Danny saw a child who needed help. He moved in, but his commanding officer ordered him to stand down. He didn't listen. The situation escalated. Arguments turned into shouting, and then fists. By the time it was over, the child was gone, and Danny was out of the army. He admits the truth. He didn't know how to be both a soldier and a father, and he apologizes again. This time, Alex understands. That night, they stay hidden inside the cave, waiting, recovering, and trying to make it through until morning. The next morning starts off quiet. Too quiet. Alex heads into the woods for a moment, but runs straight into the hunters. She freezes, then quickly hides. Back at the cave, Danny is waiting for her to return. when suddenly he's attacked. A hunter comes at him with a knife. The two struggle, and for a moment, it looks like Danny might lose, but he turns it around, grabbing the blade and killing the man with it. At the same time, the hunters spot Alex. She breaks into a run, heading straight back to Danny, and they regroup and immediately move, crossing the river to try and lose them. But the hunters are already coordinating, crossing the river, heading right toward you. They're being boxed in. Danny and Alex reach a gorge. No time to think, they jump straight into the river below. Arrows fly toward them, but the hunters hold back just enough. They don't want Alex dead, they want her alive. Somehow they make it out, unharmed. For a second, it feels like they've escaped, but that hope doesn't last, because right in front of them, Stanley. Alex is grabbed instantly, and Danny tries to fight, but gets smashed over the head with a rock. And just like that, he's thrown back into the river, somehow. Danny survives. He regains consciousness and drags himself out of the river, but Alex is gone. No sign of her anywhere. He forces himself back to where they were ambushed, and that's when everything changes. The father disappears, and the soldier takes over, because now the hunters become the hunted. Danny locks in, sharpening his focus, reading every detail around him. Footprints, broken branches, disturbed ground, tracking them with precision. Meanwhile, Alex wakes up locked inside a cabin. She's not alone for long. A pregnant woman named Lily, the same one from earlier, comes to see her. She warns Alex not to scream, because it will only make things worse. Then Stanley walks in. Alex demands to be let go, but Stanley doesn't see it that way. To him, she's just scared, and eventually, she'll accept her place, just like Lily did. Back outside, Danny locates the hideout and starts planning his next move. Alex has had enough. She's not waiting around anymore. She grabs a wooden plank and attacks Stanley, then runs. Stanley immediately calls his men, ordering them to bring her back. At the same time, Danny makes his move. He strikes from the outside, taking down multiple men before knocking out 2 more stationed inside a building. But still, no sign of Alex. Meanwhile, Alex keeps running until she reaches a cliff. The ocean stretches out in front of her, nowhere left to go. She drops to her knees, realizing she's trapped. Moments later, Stanley finds her. He almost admires her resistance, but it doesn't change anything. He tells her to come back, peacefully. Back on the other side, Danny has captured several of the men. He ties them up and starts asking questions. Where's his daughter? One of them smirks, saying she's already gone. Another takes it further, making disgusting comments about what they're doing to her. Danny doesn't respond. He just acts. Cuts one man's finger off, clean. And for the one who insulted Alex, he drives a blade into his neck, leaving him to slowly choke on his own blood. No more jokes, no more arrogance. Now they understand. Danny is not someone to play with. Danny shifts his focus to another man. This one shaking, terrified. It doesn't take much. The man immediately gives it up. Alex is on an island, but when Danny pushes for more details, he hesitates, so Danny makes him talk, by force. One by one, he breaks them down, until he gets everything he needs. That's when he learns something else. The man whose fingers he cut off, Ray, is Stanley's son. And Alex? She wasn't just taken, she was chosen. The cult has a problem. Their women can't have children anymore. Something in their water, so they're forcing it. Danny has heard enough. Now he wants directions. Then, a radio crackles. Stanley is listening. Danny plays his move. He tells Stanley he has Ray, and lets him hear his son's voice. Stanley fires back, doing the same. Say hello to your daddy. Dad! For a moment, they're both on the line. Stanley claims he never meant to hurt her. Danny doesn't care, and he gives him one simple warning. Bring Alex back, if you ever want to see your son alive again. Soon after, Stanley returns to the mainland with Alex and a small group of men. Meanwhile, Danny starts preparing, checking the area, thinking ahead, because he knows what's coming next. Stanley pulls up to the cabin, but leaves his men waiting at a distance. He steps out, holding Alex at gunpoint, and walks her inside. And there, he comes face to face with Danny. Danny has Ray restrained, a knife pressed against his throat. Then he drops the warning. The gas has been running for the past hour. One wrong move, and everything goes up. Stanley hesitates, then starts talking, justifying everything. He believes Danny would have done the same thing if he was about to lose everything he built. He claims they were living peacefully, away from society, until chemical pollution ruined their water and made their women infertile. Danny doesn't care. None of that matters. He only wants one thing, his daughter. After that, they can go back to whatever twisted life they were living. Stanley finally lets Alex go. She rushes over, warning Danny there are more men outside. Suddenly, Stanley attacks. He lunges with a knife, but Danny blocks it. Ray tries to intervene, and Danny redirects the blade straight into his chest. Chaos erupts. Stanley's men storm the cabin, but Danny was ready for this. He dives into a nearby refrigeration room and triggers the explosion. The entire place goes up, taking the attackers with it. After the explosion, Danny and Alex step out. Bodies are everywhere, and it's over. Or at least, it looks like it. They leave the scene behind, completely unaware of one thing. Stanley survived. His son's body took the worst of the blast, shielding him. Weeks pass. Life starts to return to normal. Alex gets accepted into the art school she wanted. Danny and Janine help her move in, and something else has changed. They're back together. A family again. Alex is genuinely happy. They say their goodbyes, leaving her behind to begin this new chapter of her life. Danny and Janine walk away, believing everything is finally over. But they're wrong, because not far away, Stanley is watching, still alive, and still waiting for revenge. A few months go by, and Alex is thriving. She's doing well in art school, making new friends, even developing a little crush on a guy named Justin. Life finally feels normal again. At one point, she makes plans to go to a friend's birthday party. Back home, Danny calls to check in, knowing she's supposed to fly back soon for the weekend. Janine keeps his expectations grounded, reminding him not to expect too much time with her. Meanwhile, Danny has his own situation to deal with. He meets up with an old army friend, Curtis, who offers him a private contracting job. And it sounds serious. Big money, freedom, even a chance to lead his old team again. But Janine isn't happy about it. She's worried, not just about the danger, but because she's gotten used to having him home again. Still, Danny reassures her. He won't risk what they've rebuilt. Curtis tells him to think it over, reminding him he was one of the best they ever had. The weekend arrives, and Alex heads out to Tyler's birthday party with her friends. They're at a bowling alley, just hanging out. Normal college life. Kyle is there too. Everything feels fine. Back home, Danny is planning to pick her up the next morning. Janine won't be there. She has work. That night, Danny brings up Curtis's offer again, and it's obvious. He's torn. He wants to work. He can't just sit around doing nothing. He even considers becoming a cop, but something about it doesn't feel right. Meanwhile, the party starts winding down. Alex calls for an Uber. Before she leaves, Justin finally admits how he feels about her. They lean in, about to kiss, when Tyler interrupts, asking for his phone. The moment breaks. Her ride arrives. They say goodbye. Alex gets into the car, not knowing this is where everything goes wrong again. Danny is at the airport when his phone rings. It's Stanley. He reveals everything. Alex has been drugged, and this is revenge for his son. Danny gives him one warning: let her go, or he'll wipe out everything he cares about. Stanley doesn't care. His son was everything. Danny immediately heads home, gearing up to go after her. Janine tries to stop him, telling him it's a trap, that he'll die. But Danny refuses to call the police. He knows what kind of people they're dealing with. This is what he was trained for. Seeing there's no stopping him, Janine gives in, telling him to bring their daughter home. Danny retraces his steps, heading back to where it all started, the campground. Meanwhile, Alex wakes up in a cabin. Lily brings her water. Alex knows her dad is coming, and even offers to help Lily escape too. But Lily believes this is her life now. Danny reaches the compound. It's packed with men. He makes a bold move and surrenders. They take his weapon, zip tie his hands, and prepare to execute him, just like Stanley ordered. But they underestimated him. Danny breaks free, takes out the men escorting him, and takes control of the boat. He stages their bodies to look normal and heads toward the island. At the same time, Lily changes her mind. She slips Alex a note, and that's all Alex needs. She fakes being sick. When a guard checks on her, she stabs him with a fork and escapes. As Danny approaches the island, he sets the boat on course and dives into the water. Stanley spots the boat, but sees no sign of Danny, then learns Alex has escaped. He finds Lily's note and realizes exactly where Alex is heading, the cove. Danny reaches shore and begins scouting the compound from the hills. Alex is still running, barely staying ahead of the men chasing her. Stanley regroups everyone, locks Lily up, prepares for war, because he knows Danny is out there, watching, waiting. That night, Danny begins setting traps, using whatever he can find, wiring explosives, mapping the compound, preparing for one final attack. By morning, it begins. He takes out multiple men, steals a radio, and contacts Stanley. One last chance. Give her back. Stanley refuses, so Danny reveals himself and draws them in, leading them through the traps, picking them off, until explosions tear through the compound. Chaos everywhere, bodies dropping. He fights his way through, finds Lily, and frees her. Stanley realizes what's happening and prepares his own trap. Danny allows himself to be captured, just to get inside. They throw him into the room, and finally, he reunites with Alex. Together, they escape through a loose floorboard she's been working on. They regroup with Lily and learn about her baby. Wayne agrees to help them, stealing boat keys so they can escape. But Stanley finds out and escalates everything. He kidnaps Janine. Now, it's personal. Danny knows exactly what he has to do. He's going straight for her. Meanwhile, Stanley prepares a public execution. Wayne is dragged out, calls Stanley out, and is executed. Alex sneaks into Stanley's office, grabs a rifle, loads it, but Abigail catches her. Outside, Danny confronts Stanley, demands his wife back. Stanley refuses, planning to rebuild everything. With Danny gone, he raises his gun, gives Danny one last chance to speak. Danny pours everything out, how much his family means to him. It was never about the speech, just time. Stanley pulls the trigger, but before he can fire, Alex shoots him, dead. It's over. They reunite. Lily mourns Wayne, revealed to be Abigail's grandson. In the end, Lily and her baby leave with them. Danny finally has his family back, and this time, he's not letting it go. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe for more recaps like this.